Is this why this is happening? Is this one reason why this is happening? So for those who don't know, it's not just oil that comes out of the Strait of Hormuz, okay? It's fertilizer. And right now is the time that crops are being planted. War with Iran disrupts fertilizer exports as U.S. farmers prepare for planting season. But that had me fucked up a little bit when I saw something. What if that is the whole fucking plan? What if that is the whole fucking plan? We have heard everybody on the Trump side and Elon and shit talking about data centers. Well, if you take fertilizer away from farmers and they can't plant crops that are actual crops and or to feed the livestock and they belly up, are they just going to give up their land and they're going to get data centers for them? Oh, fuck. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm fucking wrong. Because whether you like to admit it or not, the ballroom is not a ballroom. That's 90,000 square feet and bunkers underneath it. This shit is a fucking data center. He's gonna bankrupt farmers or make them pay such high prices that they can't afford it. They're gonna have to give up their fucking farms or sell it for pennies on the dollar. Acre Trader, JD Vance. Holy fucking shit. What if this is the fucking plan? Oh my God. Is anybody else seeing that? Is anybody else seeing this shit? That this is because of this. Oh no!
This is not by accident. This is on purpose. Donald Trump is not a stupid man. He is very smart. He's very intelligent, regardless of what they tell you in the media or what your opinion is of him. He's ran corporations his whole life and been extremely successful at it. He's highly educated. He knows what he's doing. The United States is a corporation. So he got advice. He received advice before going into bomb Iran. They planned for this for a long time. He knew what was coming, what was going to happen. He got counsel from intelligence agencies and people he trusts the most. He studied history. So going to bomb Iran, he knew that these people were not going to give up, that we're bombing their homeland, their families, they have nowhere to go. He knew this. So when he tells you that it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks, a month, a couple months, and they're going to back up, they're going to give up, and we'll eventually win this thing, it's not true. They will never quit until we go home and win. This thing ain't a fucking football game. It's not a football game. You don't just win like that. And if you wanna clog up the world's supply, you do it in one place, which is the Strait of Hormuz. So you have to wonder. You go plug up that one area, which is 20 to 30% of the world's oil supply is going through there. So it's going to create an energy crisis throughout the world, which is already doing, and they're already talking about lockdowns. So you have that other aspect to it. And then you have a thing called urea, which is a fertilizer the rest of the world needs that should be going through there right now, but is being stopped. In other countries, in other places like Africa and across the world, they need to plant right now. This is their planting season, their harvesting season to plant so they can eat later on down the road, and they can't do that. So what's going to happen on top of the energy crisis? You're going to have famine. It's going to get bad. And he knew this going in there. This is all planned. They know this is going to happen because it's the calling of the herd. They're calling us to 2030, the New World Order, the Great Reset. They are calling us. And what's going to happen is he wants to put us in what he calls the freedom cities. The freedom cities, which he's been talking about and pushing towards us, where we get in these freedom cities, these smart cities, these prison cities, and we're locked in there. And we can only go in a 15-minute radius of one place to the other place. And if we say or do something, we can only go 10 minutes instead of 15, and we're tracked in everything we do. And now we're on a digital currency, so everything's tracked again. And now your neighbors are telling on you, and you can't do anything because you're tracked and you're imprisoned. This is problem, reaction, solution. They have been planning this forever.
Anybody else out there feel like something's coming? Yeah, me too. Listen, this is not being paranoid. This is preparing for the worst, just in case. Go to the bank, pull some money out. Go to the store, stock up. Bottled water, non-perishable foods, candles, toilet paper, gas cans. Go to the gas station while prices are somewhat reasonable. Fill those gas cans up. Fill your car up. Do not be caught unaware. Prep and prepare for the worst. If you're a carrier, stock up on bullets, just in case. I woke up this morning to some videos where Trump has threatened to take out Iran's infrastructure. And Iran says, go ahead, make our day. So we need to just prepare just in case. America may change very soon. It may not, but it may. Don't be caught with your pants down. Take care of your families. Prepare now, just in case. If nothing happens, you can put the money back in the bank. But if the power goes out, you'll have no way to get to it. So let's get it out and prep for the worst, just in case.
Was it all planned or not? I want to say all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Hakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to Akim pushing this word, sincerity and honesty, and hopeful that constantly enduring Shalom. My name is Cora Allah from the GMS New York camp, and I'm back at you with another lesson. And I'm entitled, "Was it all planned out or not? Or was it planned or not?" And I played the video, and I got that from GMS Dedication. Okay, and everybody had their theories and their ideas on the next move for America, right? For the future of America and the American citizens. All right, they spoke about um, the fertilizer, the oil. Spoke about the farms being turned into data centers, energy crisis, famines, right? 50-minute cities, digital currencies, right? And they even mentioned something about problem, reaction, and solutions. That's where the government would cause a problem, right? And the people will react, which that'll be the people will be looking for a solution, and then you give them the solution, which the solution was your agenda from the jump, okay? Or auto ab KO, order out of chaos. But I'll say this: was it planned? Was it all planned or not? All right, I'll say this: yes and no, okay? Because I'll read it real quick in the scriptures. This is Job 20:23 says, when he's about to fill his belly. Let's go to 22. Job 20:22 says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall be upon him. Okay? And the straits, in the fullness of his sufficiency, because this man has an agenda, right? And that's going into that new world order. So in order to bring in that new world order, which is mainly going to consist of that chip. Everyone has to be chipped, okay? And that's going to be that new currency. All right, so the dollar has to be done away with. So a lot of these things that's going on, it does have to do with the dollar collapsing, all right, or the petrodollar, and bringing in that new system. Because why? It's gonna be famines, right? It's gonna be there's gonna be distress amongst the people, all right, and so much so when you present that chip and that new digital currency, the people are gonna flock to it. All right. It says in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. The Lord said when he completes his agenda, he's gonna be in straits. The Lord's gonna put him in straits. So it's gonna come to naught. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. That real quick, let's go into that word wicked. Aimal. Okay. Basically it's the laborers. The laborers. All right. I'll go into it. Okay. The workman, the sufferer. Okay. So that's your your low class people. Okay. And that's going into what those class wars. That's going into home invasions and whatnot. It says when he's about to fill his belly, the most I shall cast the fury. I don't know. It says Job 20:22. Right, Job 20:23. When he's about to fill his belly, the most I shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So while you're about to eat, and in other words, when you're about to enjoy your accomplishments, okay, your wicked accomplishments that you've been laboring and deceiving, laboring in wickedness to obtain, you're gonna pay for it. All right. What do you think? You're not gonna be judged for your wickedness? You think the Lord is with you? No, the Lord is saving the best for last. Okay. It's gonna bring you down to a lower state. I'm talking about you. Esau deletes. All right. Because Trump, that's a puppet. You know, the real the real people behind the scenes are the elites, the one that really control everything. Right. So it says, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain upon him while he's eating. Okay, so that's going into your agenda, your new world order. So that's why I'm saying, yeah, things Esau is doing things that's planned out, but then the Lord's gonna throw a monkey wrench in his plans. Okay, but what is Esau gonna do? There's a saying out there that goes, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." Okay, so Esau is gonna try to capitalize on anything he can capitalize on. So you're not really gonna catch when Esau, you know, took a, a you're not gonna catch when Esau's caught by surprise. Okay, but we're gonna know for sure though, when those missiles come down, that's game over. All right, we actually watching it. We watching the news. You just gotta decipher it through the spirit. What was oh yeah, that was a false, what, a false flag, I believe it's called. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Oh, they got Black Swan events. Okay, Let me look this up real quick. They got Black Swan events are rare, unpredictable, high impact occurrence, occurrences that are far beyond the scope of normal expectations, yet often seem predictable in hindsight. Popularized by these events have immense, often catastrophic consequences on finance, global finance and society, such as the 2008 financial crisis, or what happened in 2019. Okay, so there are Black Swan events. Um, There's also something called false flags. Okay, a false flag is a covert operation, military, political, or cyber, designed to deceive by making it appear that the party other than the actual perpetrators is responsible. All right, and there's definitely more examples. I can name examples of that. Okay, one that sticks out is what happened in what was that 9/11. Okay, they create the problem and feed you the solution, and this the solution is their agenda. Okay, now it's so confusing because Esau does this so often. We as the people, we can't tell what's real and what's not. Okay, but it's all according to prophecies. Okay, we through the spirit, the prophets go out there on the highways and byways, make these lessons through the spirit, let you know, listen, this is what's going on, and so on and so forth, and it's up to you to take heed or not. Because even the video I just played, the men out there, the men been saying that the prophets are mainly GMS. Okay, mainly GMS, and the Israelite camps that prophesied in like manner. All right, been out there on the highways and byways saying these things. Okay, we moving into the time of that new world order, the time of the mark of the beast. Okay, this is Ezekiel's 33, and I'll go to 32 on down. It says, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song, one that has a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. Okay, the scriptures say, be not just hearers, but also doers of the word. Okay, this is how you know the elect from the non-elect. Okay, this is how you sift the righteous, right? Because the righteous is gonna do the works, men, women, and child. Okay, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song, right? The prophets go out there on the highways and byways and prophesied, and you got people that watch for entertainment. You know, they just watch it purely for entertainment. But as far as taking action, they won't do it. Why? Because the spirit's not on them. Because it's not for them. Okay, because if it was for them, then they would jump into action. Go out there on the highways and byways, start following laws to the best of your ability. Put down there pork, shrimp, and lobster. All right, stop committing adultery. Stop gang banging. Stop doing drugs. Stop dealing drugs. It says, and when this comes to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. Okay, because if we was to say this back in 2013, we would be some conspiracy theorists, right? We'll be part of a cult. But now you go online, you go on YouTube, you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram. Now you people are the crazy ones. Now you sound like conspiracy theorists, okay? But you gotta look back at it, and you gotta understand that, hey, the men GMS been out there on the highways and byways saying this exact same thing. Okay, now we in those times where you're gonna see who are the prophets and who are not. Psalms 64 and 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commute in laying snares. Privily they say, who shall see them? Okay, you know what? I gotta go up, Salakia. Psalms 64 and 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Yeah, that's the wicked for you. Esau, Edom, right? Starting with the elites. Okay, that's why you people are in such distress. realizing your government might be, what they're doing might be, it might be on purpose. It might be a reason to what they're doing. You see Trump up there saying this and saying that and going crazy, and it might be a science to his madness. Okay, because believe they'll do it because they're the wicked. It says who? It says who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right, and they bring these things into law to force it upon the people. And if you don't abide by it, you're gonna be, you're gonna be judged for it. Either put you in jail, even put you to death. Okay. It says, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right? They have the AI technology where they could just put your face on camera and have you committing a crime or what they deem to be a crime. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Okay? And the perfect is what? The elect of Israel. Okay? Perfect through who? Through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Through Yahweh Shai going up on that cross. Right? It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares. Privily they say, who shall see them? But it's being brought out. Okay? Your wickedness is being brought out. You're being exposed. At one point, people want to know about the elites, right? About those those different uh those different you know those different cults or whatnot. Okay, like Skull and Bones and so on and so forth. But now you're being brought out. Why? Because scriptures say what's in the dark has come to the light. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of laying snares. Privily they say, who shall see them? So this is the snares, right, that people are mentioning. The 15-minute cities, digital currency, um, energy crisis, the oil crisis, right? Because who's suffering for who's going to suffer? Who's going to get caught up in these snares, these traps? The regular day people. You know, it says they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both their inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Okay, so this is who's in rulership. Now you people are starting to get it. They search out iniquity, they accomplish a diligent search. So you don't really know what's real when you watch the news. You don't know what's going on. You really don't know what's going on. You just kind of get caught off guard unless you how about you shall put that spirit on you to understand what's going on, or the Lord brings a prophet around you to tell you what's going on, and Lord, will you take heed, because you can have a prophet among you, and here it is, he won't take heed. This is Psalms 94 and 20 says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? Okay. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? No. Can two walk together except they be agreed? No. Okay. Scriptures say the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High. All right. It says, which frameth mischief by a law. And they're going to make that chip mandatory. That's going to be the temptations. That's the temptations that's going to come upon the whole world. This thing is gonna be mandatory. It says, but the Lord is my defense. It's like it says, they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. But the Lord Yahweh is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. Okay? So let's go right here to refuge. Um Mahasha. Mahash. All right. Something to that effect. It says shelter from rain or storm, from danger. Okay. There it is. And what's coming, man? It's a storm coming, it's danger coming. Okay. And Yahweh Shim Yahshua is gonna shelter the elect, you know. Esau's passing all kinds of laws, right? There's gonna be a draft. Um, there's gonna be you know, in other words, the world is becoming more draconian. That draconian spirit is coming upon this place. All right, where they could put you to death or um give you a severe punishment for what they deem a crime or a light crime. All right, we almost scripture ended there. I mentioned draconian. Okay, it says laws, rules, or punishments that are excessively harsh, severe, or oppressive, originating from the strict ancient Athenian lawmaker Draco, right? Athenian, I believe that's the Greeks. Okay, it describes unreasonable regulations such as draconian budget cuts or draconian punishments. Okay, but you could go into that more um, if you wish through the spirit. But I'm gonna get right back into this last precept, and I'm gonna end it there. Ecclesiasticus 12:10 says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Okay, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay, and that's Esau, because what happens when you wipe off rust, it comes back. It might take a little time, but that rust comes right back. Okay, so Esau never changed his wicked ways. Your people, our people, they put their faith in Esau. Why? Because of the food stamps or whatever government help, whatever government assistance may come their way. Okay, but now it's starting to backfire because now that you've been so dependent on Esau, which we all under the system, right? But when it comes to survival skills, a lot of us don't have those skills. All right, a lot of us can't swim. A lot of us can't start a fire. Um, a lot of us can't. What you got Jake out here that can't even drive. You got Jake in their 30s that can't even drive. Fishing, hunting. Okay, so it's gonna be straight chaos, man. Right? And they are talking about blackouts. You know, it's just gonna be hell. You know, the cars, the oil for the cars, the gas for the cars is gonna be contaminated. You know, all sorts of madness. You know, you turn on the news, you try to listen to news, and then pop up breaking news. You go to listen to breaking news, and then pops up more breaking news to the point where you can't keep up with everything that's going on. You know, but it's beautiful because it's prophesied, right? Because the scriptures speak about they slack not a moment going into those labor pains. All right. So now we at the point where those labor pains aren't slacking. This place is just on the spiral downfall. All right. But our lowest edifying lesson, I want to say all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Hakwadash, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations that I can push in this word, and also say in honesty. Shalom.